Okay, we are on live. Now we are on live. Uh, welcome everyone that are hearing Zoom and that are here watching YouTube. My name is Tali. I'm a facilitator of this immersion, of this English immersion, this English conversation. My little presentation. My, I live in Rio de Janeiro. I'm 32 years old, 30, 30 years old. I work with technology. I use interface design, user experience, and I like to play video games. I like to to swim, to play piano, to draw, to do a lot of activities. And Sammy, welcome. Can you introduce yourself a little?
Yeah, my name is Samia. I'm from Teresina, Piauí. Just like you, I like playing video games, mostly Fortnite, because I can play Fortnite and talk to my friends. And I have three dogs. I'm a teacher. Um, and I'm studying English, and that's why I'm here because I love learning languages. I speak English. I've been learning sign language, Brazilian sign language, and I
Mm,
try to learn French, but right now I I stopped, so because I don't have much time to continue my studies on French. So
are
that's
you
it.
a teacher of what?
Um, it's hard to explain because I mean, Um, I teach young kids, they are 7 years old. And uh, so I teach four subjects, um, mathematics, history, and geography, because these two, uh, we teach them together, and science and Portuguese as well. So
Wow.
I teach four subjects. We call
Yeah,
in Portuguese polyvalente. I don't know the term in English, but I'm responsible for teaching four subjects.
vai ser no ensino fundamental, né?
Yeah,
Okay. Public school, do you teach?
no, it's a private school. Actually, it's really famous here, even in the whole country. I mean, some schools know the place where I work because it's a place where students have like a good score, like on, I don't know, how can I call this in English, vestibular, I don't know. So, and the national exams, they score really well. So that's why um so famous here and
I
some
hope
part
it
of
pays
Brazil.
well. Yeah, I hope it pays well for your teacher. I hope. Um, I spoke English, Portuguese, Spanish. I'm trying Spanish in Talk, and I'm also a facilitator of Chinese here
Oh,
in
very
Talk
nice.
Talk. I like to learn language too. Okay, let's start. Well, first question. What was the first video game you ever played? The subject today is about video games. Okay. What was the first video game you ever played, and what was your experience like?
Well, let me see here because it was a long time ago. I'm not so sure that I can remember the first time ever, but my earliest memories, I think I can. recall them. I can remember right now when I used to play Nintendo, Super Nintendo,
Mm-hmm.
in this place next to my house here, and I played. I think I don't know, maybe football. I guess I'm not so sure, but I remember playing football. Um, like I don't know the name of the games, but I think it's Meta Wars, I guess. Meta
Oh, I
Wars.
know, I know, I love the game.
Yeah, Meta Wars. Super Mario, of course. Mario Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, so oh, Immortal Kombat for sure. These four games, I remember playing them when I was like, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years old. And it was a great experience because I don't know, it's really nice, when you have the power to control some little things, people, you can one moment you are like a soccer player, and in another moment you are like a robot, so
Yeah.
it's really nice. It's challenge. I like be challenge, like that's why I love playing video game, because I like to like there is the phases that you have to like to pass through, so you
Mhm.
can reach the high level, and then okay, there is this term in Portuguese, zerar o jogo. So I like to zerar o jogo,
Yeah, finish the game.
finish the
Mhm.
game. Yeah.
Um, I remember video game console. The first one I played was Mega Drive, and
Oh,
then I remember to play the Super Nintendo. But my first contact with games itself, not a console, was through the computer. The OS. It's a very older computer that had some. I remember when I was 45, I played simple games like asteroids uh, in a computer, not a console like Super Nintendo, but in a
yeah.
computer with no graphic interface. I remember, I think this is one of my oldest memories. I can relate, I can remember. Uh, but after computer, I played Super Nintendo, Metal Warrior, Super Mario, Razio 7, Aladdin, I like it.
Oh,
Aladdin.
yeah.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Yeah.
I played in Mega Drive a lot of Sonic, Aladdin Earth, Aladdin 2, and another Super Nintendo game that I liked it was one where you play with Mickey and Donald Duck from the
Oh, it's really good,
Magical
that one.
Adventure 3. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Magical,
It's so hard to play that one. Oh my gosh. And it's too
yeah,
long as well.
too long, yeah. But I really like that game. Let's go to the second question.
Yeah.
How do you think video games have evolved over the past decade?
Wow. It's getting better. Um, since that technology has been improved. So the graphics, um, the reality, like sometimes you have some types of video games, like RVR. I don't know how
Yeah,
can I call
augment,
that.
yeah, virtual reality.
Yes, so now we have this um experience that we are in the game, right? Inside of the game. So it's really, really, really nice, and sometimes it's really, I don't know, dangerous or scary, because some people, they don't have like they don't have boundaries, like they keep playing, playing, playing. Sometimes they don't even uh see the differences, between what is real life and when it's just a video game, a virtual world. So it's really good, because
Yeah.
for some people, it's really nice, the graphics, but sometimes I think it's danger, when we are playing video games that we can like don't perceive we cannot perceive the difference between real life and virtual
Virtual
reality.
reality. Yeah. I see we have better graphics nowadays. We have different ways to play. For example, Nintendo
Yeah,
we started bringing in 2008, 2006, 2007. Nintendo will brought the option to play with emotion, né?
yeah,
And the video games, the companies that work with video games have been trying to innovate. Kinect, for example, also it was something wonderful in that in 50 what was 15 years ago more or less because a lot of time ago where you were able to play emotion. Um, we have the graphics that are very realistic nowadays, and the games are much more accessible to people because because in the past years we have to pay to have a computer, a huge computer sometimes, or a video game that is expensive. Nowadays we can play in our cell phone. We can get
yeah,
access in games in more simple games using our
yeah,
cell phones, and it's more and also it is more accessible for people to develop new games. So you can play games from indie games, independent video game studios, smaller studios that create games for cell phones, for consoles, for computer, and you have it nowadays much more options to choose. I have a Nintendo Switch because I have been always a big fan of Nintendo, but the value of the games is of console games nowadays is very expensive. If you go to Steam, you can buy, for example, other games much more much less expensive, more accessible. So I think the industry is always trying to innovate, to sell more games, but nowadays it's evolved that it's more accessible and you have much more options. It's not just
yeah,
the graphics, and more, as you said, virtual reality, more ways to interact and to experience the games.
yeah. Something that I really enjoyed about this new technologies, um it's the experience of being able to play video games with anyone around the world, So right
Yeah.
now I have two friends from one of them is from São Paulo and the other
Mm,
one is from Roraima. And I met them just playing video games, So a long time ago, this wasn't possible. We need to a person here on
yeah.
your side to play. If you want to play with someone else, you need to invite a friend of yours so you can have this person playing with you. But nowadays, here at home, I can play with anyone from different places around the world. So it's really nice.
Yes, that's true. Let's go to third question. What's your favorite video game genre and why do you enjoy it?
Well, nowadays, Fortnite, like fire games, I guess. I don't know how can I call this kind of uh, games, but Fortnite and sometimes FIFA. I like play
Mhm.
football too, but It's really expensive. I'm not uh, willing to pay that much to play um, some matches on FIFA. So nowadays I only play Fortnite, and that's it.
Yeah, my favorite game, I don't have exactly a favorite gender, but I mostly play adventure games and RPG. Um, I also like some games that are like Stardew Valley, where you manage and create your farm because it's relation. This
Mhm.
kind of game that you build things. You build a city or you build a farm. You're creating and build things. I like this genre too.
For
Yeah,
example,
no, finish.
no, I
What
was
was it?
going to say that for me, I don't like those game that I need to build things. That's not my type. I really don't like it. For example, Minecraft. A lot of my students, they love playing Minecraft. That and I, oh my gosh, what is the goal there? Just build things. But I know that for some people, it's really nice. It's so good to build things. But in my case, I don't like. I don't like it.
Yeah, I like to build things, but it's more specific. I don't like Minecraft, for example, but I like Stardew Valley, where I can create a farm and there are NPCs. You can interact with them. There is a story. Uh, Rune a Factory, that is a Harvest Moon. That is a farming game in Harvest Moon with battles, with monsters. Rune a Factory. Japanese. Civilization, where you build and you create their countries, civilizations. Holocaust Take-On, that's a game where you can create Holocaust parks, parque de diversão. Holocaust Take-On. Tycoon games. Zoo Take-On, where you create a zoo. This kind of game where you can create specific things. And I also like I like the games from Nintendo, as I said. But I don't play much because it's so expensive. The question 40. How do you feel about the impact of video games on mental health and cognitive skills?
Well, I think I can see, like I've been a teacher since 2016, and I can see that my students, when it comes to be focused on something, like a manual activity, when we talk about attention, they really, I mean, they don't they don't have this, how can I say, they don't pay attention to small activities, manual activities, and on daily basis. They
Yeah.
I don't know if you can understand me, but I can see that not only video games, but I mean this virtual world, through cell phones, computers, notebooks, social medias as well. I think has influenced the way uh, we do things. Um, I don't know how can I explain this. It's really hard. I've never thought to explain this in English, but I think the tension and the yeah, especially attention is really damaged because of this kind because of video games, because of internet, as a whole.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it depends how the video game is developed. Like social media nowadays have a mental impact in mental health and on cognitive skills. Because TikTok, for example, is is created to pick the attention for the people see different subjects in smaller videos fast. But TikTok was designed this way. Yeah, there are normal websites where you enter and you see the information that don't 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 it's not prejudicial for for people. I see the same way as the video games. Some games that are developed to to make small microtransactions, for example, for people start to play. The game is free, but the people paying. There are ways to do that. There are an entire study to do that. And we have games that you just buy one time and then play. If you don't want to play more, pause the game or finish the game, stop to play and do other thing. So it depends of the video game, it depends the way the video game was designed, because there are schools, for example, there are educational projects that use video games to make it some things more fun, to help people to study more. It depends. The goal, the object that project will be designed, who will design that video game, it depends a lot if the game will impact in mental health and cognitive skills.
Yeah.
Let's go. Do you want to say something else
No,
about?
no, no. Go ahead.
Okay, let's go to question 5. What are some of the most memorable stories or characters you have encountered in video games?
Stories. Let me see. Well, I can share talking about my own experience.
Mhm,
Um, well, there is this memory when I was playing football and it was a good match. I was behind the score, I was losing the game. Then I had this like I don't know how can I say bater falta, but yeah, I had this falta
mhm,
to kick, and I remember it was really really hard. I've never uh ha- I've never score like uh when I had a falta para bater. So at that moment, a friend helped me. Okay, you can put the direction of the kick here and that. Okay, don't press the button too much. Press this one and this other one. So this is the amount of strength that you need to score. So I follow his directions and then I score. For the first time, it was really excited moment because I never, I never was able to do that, So it was
mhm,
a really good moment, and yeah, and here at home when I won my first video game, and it was a Mega Drive, and I
mhm,
was really, really, really happy that I could play every single day. At that time, I was really addicted to video games. I think I played the whole day, So it was really, really nice. I don't have like a story about characters because normally I don't play adventures, mostly sports.
mhm.
Um, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I like Zelda series, the characters from Zelda, especially the Majora's Mask for Nintendo 64. That's my favorite. And some characters from RPG games, Final Fantasy IX, that's my favorite Final Fantasy. Yeah, most memorable stories or characters. Yeah, most of them are characters from Japanese games because it was stories I played in my memory for me that was a childhood and become a memorable story for me because of because it was my childhood that I was playing with that character in a fantasy world. Most of them were for RPG and other Japanese games because I played most video games from Japan.
Well, I just remember actually I cannot believe that I forgot this, but there was this other game that I was really crazy about. Uh, Grand Theft GTA.
Ah, Grand Theft
Uh,
Auto.
yeah, this city. Oh my gosh, I love that story. So I love the character from that game. I mean the scenario, like it is my uh yeah, it's like Miami. There is this
Yeah.
uh beach vibe. So, and also there is this vibe from 80s. So I really like the songs, the graphic and the story itself. It's really nice, really nice. I like that character.
Oh, good.
Tommy Versity.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, que GTA, né? Grand Theft Auto is a very popular game. People here in Brazil, a lot of people like this series of game. Let's go to sixth question. Do you prefer playing video games on a console, PC, or mobile device? And why?
Well, console, of course, because I'm used to it, so I never, I mean, I don't have the skills to play, with the teclado and with mouse. It's really hard. I already tried play, for example, VC City. In the computer, it's really, really hard, and also mobile device because the screen is too small. So I think to have a good experience playing video games, at least you have to have a good screen,
Mhm.
and that's why I really like console. Actually, I have Xbox One, so that's my favorite one. It's really interesting, because when I the day when I had to buy my console, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know which one I have to buy because I was like, my doubt was like PlayStation and Xbox One. I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember this picture of Sheldon, the same when he went to the video games store, and then there was a box of a PlayStation box and uh Xbox One. But I ended up buying the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me too. I prefer playing console games. I prefer playing video games on a console. And to play in a portable console like Game Boy, Nintendo DS. It's a console too, but it's portable. I like to play both, and I prefer to play on console because you said about that it's difficult to play in computer, but you can, for example, buy a joystick and put joystick in the computer and play with the joystick. I play in computer just this way. I have a joystick that I connect in my computer to play, connect my notebook. Because there are games that indie games that I want to play and are available only in computer, not in console. And because of these games, I played in I like to play in computer to be able to play these other games that I cannot play in my Nintendo consoles. But in general, I prefer to play in consoles. I don't like to play in cell phone because I like it, but I like to have buttons to pay. I don't like it to play touch screen.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Once I tried to play Fortnite online here on my cell phone, I was like, "Oh, it's so difficult." And I watched these videos from people, on TikTok
Yeah,
playing Fortnite, and they have like, I don't know how they do this, but they play really well on cell phone. But that's not for me. Um,
I like buttons. I like to have a button to press. Let's go to seventh question. How do you think virtual reality and augmented reality will influence the future of gaming?
that's a good one. I don't know. I think maybe people this experience will be more realistic, because um nowadays even through a glasses, you
Yeah.
can like do this on the air, and you have, oh my gosh, this is insane. I never had this experience, but I feel like I don't know, I prefer the modern chiga, like, but I think will change a lot of things, the way we do, the way we think, the way we live our lives. I think when it comes to video game, will be more realistic. Uh, s- I don't know. Maybe we will be able to feel that. For example, a war game that you are there holding a gun and trying to, I don't know, what is the mission, to do the mission, or if you are playing a soccer game, uh, you will feel the energy in the stadium. You, you will feel kicking the ball for real. So I think when it comes to experience, will change drastically, I guess.
Yeah, we have the question is talking about virtual reality and augmented reality. Augmented reality is like Pokemon Go. Do you know how Pokemon Go works, people?
No.
Pokemon Go, there is a reality, but how can I explain? Augmented reality is like I put the camera here. There is so my camera is showing the wall, and it's showing a Pokemon in digital device. This is augmented
Oh,
reality. It's different for virtual reality. Virtual reality is the Oculus that you put and you are entering a digital world. Augmented reality, realidade aumentada, em português, is when you have the reality and you get a augmented reality using digital devices. Like Pokemon Go did, where people some years ago, 2008 to 2017, I don't remember, there was a lot of people in the streets with the cell phones looking for Pokemons in entire places. This is augmented reality. The virtual reality uh, nowadays is it's not something very accessible because you have to buy
yeah,
the Oculus.
it's really expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive. And the reality much games that use virtual reality. The games that I saw in virtual reality, um, for example, you have the Oculus and you have some controls. It's not a virtual reality, you know. I think to be a really virtual reality, it needs to improve more. The games that you are creating nowadays in virtual reality are more simple. For example, you are working in a pizzeria and you have to prepare. So I think it has a potential for the gaming, but sometimes the companies create a new technology and people don't know how to use that technology to create a good experience. Uh,
Yeah.
I think this is happening with virtual reality. There is the Oculus not really accessible, and the developers don't know how to use this technology to create a good experience. Let's go to question 8. What are your thoughts on the rise of competitive gaming and esports?
Well, I wish I could be a good player because maybe right now I would be rich because I know that some people are making a lot of money just playing video games. Oh my God. And this is awesome. I wish I could
Yeah.
be a good player because, at least for me, it's so fun. I usually say that playing video game is as a therapy, works as a therapy for me. And it's really nice to see that. I know that some people thinks, okay, it's just video game. It's not a sport. There is this debate, even here in Brazil. Um, I don't know, was like, I don't know her name, but it was a ministra do esporte, and she was
Yeah.
like, she condemns, I don't know how can I say. Yeah, she said that
You don't
playing video
agree
game,
with the idea.
yeah, wasn't a sport. So I don't know. I think it could be a different modality. Like just you don't use your whole body, only your hands, your fingers. But
Mm.
uh, I don't blame them. I think it's fine. It's really nice because there is this large audience that
Mm.
really enjoy this whole world of video games. So for me, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice to have esports and competitive gaming. I like the idea. What the minister said is more what I know is more like the esports and gaming industry itself have money. There are people that go to competitions to watch competitions and that pay money for that. Um, the esports section don't need to have, for example, public funds to developers. They don't need because there are already a industry where people pay to watch, where players are sponsored for companies to play in teams. There are yet this industry. You don't need to. It's different to, for example, someone that wants to be a volleyball player, live in a community, and you don't have opportunity. It's a little different, you know. Both can be sports, in my opinion, e-sports and sports, but the e-sports has itself they are money because people pay for that, because people watching that. So I think I like to I like I think it's good to have the competitive gaming and the sports because the people like to watching, people like to play, and this become a new jobs. It's okay, no, I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Let's go to question 9. How do you manage your time between gaming and your other responsibilities?
Well, I only play video games at night when I
Yeah.
had all my things done. I work uh, part time, from 7 to 11 a.m. And then I go back to my home, and then I go back home and I get ready to go to university. And then when I arrive at home, okay, if I don't have like a lot of things to do, some activities to correct, or some activities to be done, now I will play video games. This week, I s- there were 2 days that I didn't play, and yesterday I said to myself, okay, that's enough. It's time to play because it was really stressful. Okay, and maybe this is because I didn't play the 2 days ago, and I yesterday oh my gosh, it was really nice because I don't usually play. I don't usually play well. Uh, and yesterday I nailed it. I said to myself during the match, "Oh my gosh, I played so well. It was so good." And yeah, so usually at night, and I play for fun and to be relaxed.
Yeah, I usually play at night too after work because I'm studying for be a public to work in public service. I'm studying for concurso nacional unificado. And then I start working after studying. And at night, when I had time, I try to play something. But nowadays, it's difficult to for me to play something because I have to study for because I have to work and study for public. I'm in a period of my life that is difficult to have fun time. But no, normally I play at night after work too because it's when I have time. Okay, let's go to question 10. That's the last one. What role do you think video games play in building social connections and communities?
That's a good question. Um, I mean, I don't. I'm not part of one of that those communities, but I've been watching some videos on YouTube, on TikTok, where it's really, really large, this world. When we think about gamers, there is even some special events where people uh, uh, are gathered, to I don't know, to celebrate, to watch competition, and these families created from just these common common things, playing video games. So I know they are strong, and it's a big, big community that it's been growing a lot throughout the years. So I know that for sure.
Yeah, I had como é que eu vou dizer? History in general create communities, and Japanese animators create event create communities. Um, Also, video games can create communities. I saw this much in MMORPGs, massive multiplayer online RPG
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
When I was in my university, I did a research iniciação científica in Fiocruz, in communication and health sector about video games and about communication and video games. And my orientador, né? That had a PhD. He did a research in communities of World of Warcraft, and he saw, for example, a story of a woman that played with a guild in this universe, and this woman was illness, né? Was illness. And this woman had friends, had a community with the guild, and she died. The community, the people in World of Warcraft, her guild, created a funeral for for the character online with everyone from the entire place in the world there to be a funeral. Yeah, and this was a research he did in her PhD, and I think this was wonderful. I think how they transport the reality. I remember on the story now with World of Warcraft 2 about some person that he was a PCD, pessoa com deficiência, that he cannot leave the house, and started to play World of Warcraft to live that world because he couldn't live in the world. He lived because of the paraplegic. I don't because of he can't. I think that a plegic. This person also died yet with the time, and the people from the community that played with him also did a celebration, a funeral for them, and some of these people came physically for the funeral in real life. I mean, so I always remember this example about how video games and connections, how video games can, yes, build strong social connections and communities.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, we have in Minecraft, most of the things in Minecraft are created by the community. Stardew Valley have a lot of expansions that the community created to improve the game. Sometimes the community creates create a continuation or an expansion of the game if that's the better of the original game. So I think I think that lets the players to create communities are very very good game design strategies. Okay, Samet, it was our last question. Thank you very much for your presence. Thank you very much for yours. I will finish the live. Thank you very much for yours that was watching in YouTube or we watch this conversation later. We are